Good morning.
Morning, Shivani.
Hi, Renu auntie. Prashant here.
Hi, Prashant. How are you? My
Good,
God,
good.
after a very long time. How have you been? Where are you? Long hair and all, huh? COVID lockdown. I didn't see you after school at all.
Yes.
Yes.
Ma'am, you have another participant joining.
Who?
I'm-
Oh, wow.
Oh, so
my
cute.
God. So cute.
Hi, Rachna. This is Rukmini here.
Hi, Rukmini.
Morning.
So, good morning, everyone, and a magical morning, if I may say so. Just to let everybody know that we're going live on YouTube. So, if anybody wants to switch off your cameras, you can do so right now. That's perfectly fine with me. This is only for people who've requested for this recording later because they either have a yoga class or they are busy elsewhere. None of them told me they can't wake up in the morning, so I'm happy about that. But this recording is just for them. And I thought in case we cross about 100 people, we might just have to do a live streaming, but I think we're good to go. But just to let you know, we are streaming live. So in case you wish to switch off your cameras, that's perfectly fine with me. So what really to expect from this is about you doing a whole lot of activities. And that's the reason why we said if you wish, you can sign up with our magical assessment commitment, which is what I will talk about a little later towards the end, not immediately right now. But basically, this book is about doing things rather than just reading. And that's the reason why it is very important that we make it more like a commitment we have towards ourselves. The only thing I would want all of y'all to get today is a notebook for yourself where you start writing all your gratitude and the other exercises. And as we move along on each day, I will be giving you more and more of what has to be done on that particular day. But for today, all I want you to do is have a notebook ready as a reckoner. Preferably take a new book there's something about a new book and new pages and fresh and everything that gets us all charged up. So I would really look forward if you can get this thing started more than anything else. Keep yourselves on mute just so that others don't get disturbed by any background noise. Anytime you want to share something, just send me a message on the chat and I will then respond to it or bring you in as and when the time is right. Okay. So having said that, I think we are ready to get started with the book magic. And I'm going to share my screen because it's book reading. So I'm going to be largely reading from the book. And as we move along, there will be little discussions here and there. You can have your inputs. Like I said, send me a message on the chat and I will ask you to come in and share. So what I will be doing today also is sharing the PDF of this book on the group. So those who wish to go back and refer to the book, you have something to work around with. And otherwise, what you're going to be doing today in the morning is going to be magical and good enough. Okay, so here we go. This is not the first chapter in the book, but this is the chapter I have picked up because we have 45 minutes in the morning with us and I would really like to stick to schedule. So I'm going to be reading the chapters which I think are relevant for today. And then as and when we are moving ahead, I will keep telling you what you can cross-refer or what you can go back to reading on your own. So if you're all ready, I would just ask you to give me a thumbs up in the chat box so that I know everybody is glued in and is ready and willing to go ahead. So quickly then, if you can give me a thumbs up in the chat box, it'll be a great way to get started. Yes, thank you. Yes. Thank you. I'll just wait for a couple more to go and then I will get started. Thank you. Thank you very much. So a great mystery is revealed. The following passage comes from the Gospel of Matthew in the Holy Scriptures, and it has mystified, confused, and been misunderstood by many people over the centuries. Whoever has been given more, and he will have an abundance. Sorry, whoever has will be given more, and he will have an abundance. Whoever does not have, even what he has will be taken from him. You have to admit that when you read the passage, it appears unjust, as it seems to be saying that the rich will get richer and the poor will get poorer. But there's a riddle to be solved in this passage, a mystery to uncover, and when you know it, a new world will have opened up for you. Of course, when you read the first lines, it just seems a little unfair that who has more will be given more and more, and who has less will not be given more. But as we move along the chapter, we'll understand that there's an important word over there which has been taken out. The answer to the mystery that has eluded so many for centuries is in one hidden word, and the word is gratitude. Whoever has gratitude will be given more, and he or she will have an abundance. Whoever does not have gratitude, even what he or she has will be taken away from him or her. So that's an important word, but the very fact that the word has been taken away has changed the whole meaning of the sentence. By the revelation of one hidden word, a cryptic text is made crystal clear. 2000 years have passed since those words were recorded, but they are as true today as they were ever. If you don't take the time to be grateful, you will never have more, and what you do have, you will also lose that. Sorry, just give me a second. Yeah. If you don't take the time to be grateful, you will never have more, and what you do have, you will lose. And the promise of the magic that will happen with gratitude is in these words. If you're grateful, you will be given more, and you will have an abundance. From the Quran, the promise of gratitude is equally emphatic. And remember when God proclaimed, if you're grateful, I will give you more. But if you are ungrateful, verily my punishment is indeed severe. It doesn't matter what religion you follow or whether you're religious or not, these words from the Holy Scriptures and the Quran apply to you and your life. They are describing a fundamental law of science and of the universe. It's universal law. Gratitude operates through a universal law that governs your whole life. According to the law of attraction, which governs all the energy in our universe, from the formation of an atom to the movement of the planets, like attracts like. And the very fact that we're about 57 of us or 56 of us right now here in this group, there is something which has attracted us all together at this time. And like we say, your vibe attracts your tribe. So people who are in your similar vibe will be coming into your sphere sooner or later. It's because of the law of attraction that the cells of every living creature are held together, as well as the substance of every material object. In your life, the operates on your thoughts and feelings because they are energy too. And so, whatever you think, whatever you feel, you attract to you. And this, I feel, is one of the most important and deep sentences. And as we move along in the book, there will be questions, and it's coming up in the next paragraph. But there are a lot of things that I don't like in my life right now. So, have I attracted these to myself as well? And yes, as we move along the book, we will get answers to all of this. If you think, I don't like my job, I haven't got enough money, I can't find my perfect partner, I can't pay my bills, I think I'm coming down with something, he or she doesn't appreciate me, I don't get along with my parents, my child is a problem, my life is a mess, or my marriage is in trouble, then you must attract more of those experiences. I'm sure a lot of you all here might be thinking, how is it possible when I'm very clear about what I don't want? How am I attracting that? And that's the fundamental rule of the universal law or the law of attraction is you ask for what you want in your life and you don't say, I don't want this in my life. And we'll get more clarity as we move along on this book. But if you think about what you're grateful for, like I love my job, my family is very supportive, I had the best vacation, I feel amazing today, I got the biggest tax refund ever, or I had a great weekend camping with my son, and you sincerely feel the gratitude, the law of attraction says you must attract more of those things into your life. It works in the same way as metal being drawn to a magnet. Your gratitude is magnetic. And the more gratitude you have, the more abundance you magnetize. It is the universal law. And that's basically very clearly put as the law of attraction. So the more we are grateful for to the things that we want in our life, the more we're going to attract it in our lives. You will have heard sayings like, whatever goes around comes around. You reap what you sow. You get what you give. Well, all of those sayings are describing the same law. And they're also describing a principle of the universe that the great scientist Sir Isaac Newton discovered. Newton's scientific discoveries included the fundamental laws of motion in the universe, one of which says every action always has an opposite and equal reaction. Now, I have a physicist amongst us, and that's Sashant, and he'll be able to explain this to us better. I'm not putting him on immediately right now, but whatever little physics we remember from our school days, one thing is for sure, we do remember Newton's laws. And one of the laws was every action always has an opposite and equal reaction. Now, opposite and equal would here right now mean that if I'm asking for something, how am I going to get the opposite? It's exactly of what you are asking is what you will be given. And when you ask for something negative, that's exactly what comes back to you. And that's when you feel that this is not what I wanted and this is the opposite of what I wanted. And this applies more to that. When you apply the idea of gratitude to Newton's law, it says every action of giving thanks always causes an opposite reaction of receiving. So the opposite of saying thank you is to receive gratitude back. And that's what they mean when they say you get the opposite back. And what you receive will always be given equal to the amount of gratitude you've given. This means that the very action of gratitude sets off a reaction of receiving. And the more sincerely and the more deeply grateful you feel, in other words, the more gratitude you give, the more you will receive. I'm going to stop sharing for a second to admit everybody else who's joined in now. Would anyone like to share something at this point in time? You can unmute yourself and you can say that. The first chapter basically is talking about the magic around you and the law of attraction. And to simply say that the universe will give you exactly what you ask for. And this, I think I should mention here, that the language you use in asking for what you want is very, very important. So you have to be extremely careful about the way you ask for something because you will be given exactly that. And I don't want to get into the negativity around us or any of that because that's something which is going to come up as we move along on each passing day. But right now, just be open, just be in a space of willingness to learn something which you might be contradicting at the moment, but just be in a space of being open to hearing. Yeah, Pooja, you raised your hand. Would you like to say something? Would you like to share something? No? Okay. I thought you had I had your hand raised. So
no, I'll mention since I'm unmuted. I've been doing gratitude past 30 days and it's been a blissful experience. And wish to get certain things, but it's just coming by its own. I'm not taking any major efforts, but it's just coming on my own.
You know, the only effort you are making is writing your gratitude list. And when we get into the whole act of doing it in the next 14 days, we'll have more sharings. Because for me, I have read this book about 6-7 years ago. And like a number of books that we read, this was also a book I read. I picked up a few things. I implemented it every now and then, but I did not sustain myself over. But the last 1 month, when I was doing this session somewhere else, I did sustain myself for exactly 30 days. And I know how magical that has been. And that's exactly the reason why I wanted to share it with more people. And we will have more sharings of our personal gratitude, not just what we have been doing in the past, but also within these 14 days when we start seeing these changes. Okay, so that is something which we will see. And thank you so much for sharing that.
Ruchi, can I have one question, please?
Yes, sure. Who's this?
This is Rashmi.
Yes, Rashmi. I
Ruchi,
can't see you, sorry, but I'm going to just try and see on which screen you are.
Yes.
Yeah, sorry, just go ahead. Yeah.
Ruchi, when you say that you have to be you should be gratitude, you should be grateful to everything. You have to express your gratitude. What do we exactly mean by that? Expressing gratitude. How do you express the gratitude? Or how do you go about and write the gratitude? I'm just confused on the certain things. Can you just give me a brief explanation?
Okay, so I'm not going to give you an explanation. I'm just going to give you an example because that's exactly what the 14 days is about. It's about how do we write this gratitude and how do we get into the practice of it. So I'm just going to say my first gratitude for the day, that my niece Rudhita turned up at 5:20, 5:30 because I was extremely stressed about how this whole YouTube streaming business is going to happen. So for me, my first gratitude goes out to her, and I say thank you so much, Rudhita, that you woke up early. Somebody who doesn't wake up before maybe 8:39, but she woke up early, drove down from her place to my place at 5:30 in the morning to just make sure everything was set up right for me. So that's my gratitude. Okay. And Rashmi, that's exactly what we're going to be doing starting from tomorrow, where you will understand how you need to keep writing your gratitude. And this book is very magical because it doesn't just tell you about writing your gratitude, but it also gives you some very interesting and simple tools to use for saying your gratitude all through the day. So it doesn't have to be the gratitude that you write in the morning alone, but a whole toolkit, I would say, which you use all through the day. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the book because there's another chapter that I like to do with you today before we call it a day. Yeah. Yeah, so the golden thread of gratitude, and I'm not going to be going through this, but I'm just giving you a brief about this chapter. This basically talks about how in every religion, in some form or the other, gratitude is practiced. And at one level, it's even enforced in certain religions, whether they have made it a part of their religious culture, a part of their whole, manner of being. It has become a part of their systems. But this practice of gratitude dates back to 2000 years ago. And for some funny reason, we've been kept away from it and we've never really been exposed to it the way we have been exposed to other things in our lives. So this chapter largely talks about that. So I will be sharing the PDF document. So please read this on your own, and any queries you have, you can send me a personal text and I will reply to that today. Okay, so I have skipped about 3-4 chapters in between, which are all very short chapters, which also talk about Rhonda Bryan's journey and how she got into the whole, journey of being grateful, and also a little bit about whether you believe in magic yourself and how is it that this will help you to make your journey much more meaningful. Now, this is a very, very important chapter, and this is what is also going to give you your task or your assignment for today. So I'm going to get into this chapter straight away. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is not to utter the words, but to live by them. And by this, John F. Kennedy, by this, what he basically meant was it's not enough just for us to say the words, thank you, but what's very, very important is for us to feel the words, thank you. Okay, so the feeling and living by them is what is extremely important. In this book, there are 28 magical practices that have been specifically designed so that you learn how to use gratitude's magical power to revolutionize your health, money, job, relationships, and to make your smallest desires and your biggest dreams come true. Now, I can't think of anything more than us wanting better health, more money, a happier job, or more work, or growth in our entrepreneurial journey, better relationships. I don't think we have any other parameter apart from these four, which are extremely, extremely vital, or something that we want all along. And giving gratitude or saying gratitude in these four areas is what is going to make it very, very magical. You will also learn how to practice gratitude to dissolve problems and transform any negative situation. Again, something that we really crave for. How on earth do we change the negative people around us? How on earth do we stop getting in or meeting people who are very negative? Now, there are chapters in this which very clearly explain how to go about it. Okay, so it's going to be beautiful as we move along. You will be captivated while you read this life changing knowledge, but without practicing what you learn, the knowledge will slip through your fingers, and the opportunity that you attracted to easily change your life will be gone. To ensure this doesn't happen to you, you need to practice gratitude over 28 days so that you impregnate your cells and your subconscious mind with it. Only then will it change your life permanently. I think this is even more important than what you are doing as a part of the book reading, because this is just about reading it, but this is not about practicing it. So I personally feel that it is like standing on the edge of a swimming pool and have a manual to read how to swim. Now, we won't learn how to swim until we take that first dip
dive.
into the pool. Yes, until we get into the pool and we take that first dip, however cold we might think the water is, but we have to take that plunge. And that is why the practice element is far more important than even reading the book right now. Now, this talks about 28 days, but I have condensed it to 14 days just so that we read more and we read faster, but we practice it more and more. So what we will be doing is we will be keeping the WhatsApp group open for 28, in fact, the entire month of July. And after the first 14 days, when we finish reading the book, I will be sending a reminder every single day on that group. So your journey to practicing gratitude will continue beyond 14 days, just the way it has been mentioned over here, 28 days. The practices are designed to be completed over 28 consecutive days. This allows you to make gratitude a habit and a new way of life. Practicing gratitude in a concentrated effort over consecutive days guarantees that you will see the magic take place in your life and fast. Now, there's a lot of literature which is there which talks about how many days are really needed to make anything into a habit. Some people say it's 14, some say it's 21, some say 30, some say 60. I personally believe that if you can get yourself motivated to start on something and remain consistent over it for 21 days, you may not make it into a habit, but once you drop it and you start it again, you're most likely to get into it much more smoother. It's like saying once you've learned to cycle or once you've learned to swim, no matter how many years may pass by in between, when you don't practice it, when you eventually get back onto a bike or get back into the pool, your learning or getting back into that form is much, much faster. So I would suggest let's do this for 28 days and see the magic unfold. Within each magical practice is a wealth of secret teachings that will expand your knowledge in tremendous ways. In each practice, you will understand more and more about how life works and how easy it is to have the life you've dreamt of. The first 12 practices use the magical power of gratitude for what you have now and for what you've received in the past. Because unless you're grateful for what you have and what you've received, the magic won't work and you won't receive more. These first 12 practices will set the magic of gratitude into motion immediately. Now, this chapter is basically explaining how the next 28 days are going to be. The next 10 practices use the magical power of gratitude for your desires, dreams, and everything you want. Through these 10 practices, you will be able to make your dreams come true and you will see the circumstances of your life magically change. The last 6 practices take you to a whole new level where you will be saturating gratitude into every cell of your body and mind. You will learn how to use gratitude's magical power to help other people dissolve problems and improve any negative situation or circumstance you may encounter throughout your life. So it's basically divided up the practices into 12, 10, and 6. And let's not try and think too ahead in terms of what those 12 are, then what are the 10, what are the 6. Let's take one thing at a time. You don't need to clear your calendar because each of the practices has been specifically created to fit into your everyday life, whether it's work days, weekends, holidays, or vacations. And I'm going to give you a disclaimer. Sunday also, we will have our class and we'll have it at the same time. Gratitude is portable. You take it with you wherever you go, and then wherever you go, the magic happens. And that's what I loved about the practices, that it's not only about writing down your 10 practices for the day, but it is 10 gratitudes for the day, but it's also a lot of little tools which are available which can help you make this being in gratitude so much more easier. So like they say, wherever you go and whatever you do, the magic will just happen. If you miss a day, you will most likely lose the momentum of what you have done. To ensure that you don't reduce the magic, if you miss a day, count back 3 days and repeat the practices again from there. Some practices are designed for the morning and others are designed to do throughout the day. So read each day's practice first thing in the morning. Some practices will need to be read the night before because they begin when you wake, and I will tell you when to do this. You might want to read the next day's practice every night before you go to sleep in order to be prepared. If you do, make sure to reread the practice again in the morning. And again, like I said, let's not complicate ourselves in terms of, oh, what else I have to do. Let's just take one day at a time. If you don't want to follow the 28 magical practices consecutively, you can also use them in other ways. You could choose one magical practice that addresses an important subject in your life that you want to change or improve, and you could do that practice 3 days in a row or every day for a week. Or you could do one magical practice a week or 2 practices a week, the only difference being that it will take you longer to see the changes in your life. Now, again, like I said, there are multiple tools for you to practice to practice your gratitude. And it's not just about writing it down as a gratitude list. There might be a particular area in your life. It could be money that you want to attract. It could be healthier relationships, a healthier body, a happier disposition. Any of these things that you want to take up as one of the aspects of your life, and you want to practice gratitude only for that area in your life, you can do so by doing it for 3 days. Like I said, let's not complicate ourselves and try to overthink on what is written here. All of this will unfold and all of this will make a lot of meaning as we move along. After the 28 days, once you've completed the 28 magical practices, you can use particular practices to increase the magic where or when you have a specified need. such as for health or money, or if you want to receive your dream job, have increased success in your work, or improve a relationship. Or to continue the practice of gratitude, you can open this book at random, and whichever practice you open to is the one you attracted. So it's the perfect one for you to do that day. At the end of 28 magical practices, there are also recommendations of practices you can use in combination, which will accelerate the magic in specific areas of your life. Can you overdo gratitude? Never. Can your life become too magical? Hardly. Use the practices over and over so that gratitude seeps into your consciousness and becomes second nature to you. After 28 days, you will have rewired your brain and implanted gratitude in your subconscious mind, where it is automatically the first thing that comes to your mind in any situation. The magic you experience will be your inspiration, because as you incorporate gratitude into your days, they will be nothing short of spectacular. So, the idea is to make gratitude so a part of your being that whether it is brushing your teeth first thing in the morning, or whether you are taking a shower, or whether you are just getting ready to cook breakfast, lunch, dinner, anything for your family, all these activities also get associated with your sense of happiness at that moment, which is coming from a space of gratitude. What are your dreams? Now, this is very important, and this is what is going to be your task for today. But I'm just going to stop sharing for just a second to see. Okay, there have been a couple of people who are waiting, so I'm just getting them in. So, anything you would like to ask, say, comment so far?
Ma'am, I have a question.
Yes, Ashant.
How much
Sorry, you're not very audible.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, better.
I wanted to know how much does collective wanting play a part in this? Like if it's a group of people who are asking for something,
Right.
as compared to asking for something.
Sorry, I didn't get you clearly. Can you just repeat yourself?
How much does collective want help as compared to an individual asking for something?
Okay, that's beautiful. If you remember, many a times we've had these pujas or these, these ceremonies that we do, which is done in a collective way. So the whole idea of saying, for example, the only thing that's coming to my mind right now is say a Satyanarayan ki katha, or something that has been done at a collective level, where our intentions are for one particular thing. So it's definitely going to be manifold for that much more. So if I can use your example, and if I can say that, so if suppose say you and Manisha want something, and you all both have the same gratitude, same desires, same dreams, and your manifestations are the same, it's not one person, but you're doubling your speed and you're making it that much more powerful. So in couple of my groups that I have, like a pranic healing group that I am a member of, sometimes we do collective healing for one particular person. So it's not just one person who's healing, but it is collectively a group of people who have set one intention, and we're all sending out our healing to that one particular person, and that makes a lot of difference. So most definitely it's going to make a big difference. Yes. So a family which is living in gratitude, I would say, is far quicker in reaching your dreams than otherwise if you're doing it alone. Yes, Rachna, I saw you raise your hand. Yeah.
I was just listening to this conversation, and before that, I just
wanted to ask you that the whole process of gratitude is sometimes we just say it that I'm very grateful, but you get out of that feeling very easily because it's easy to complain yet to be in the state of grace. So I'm sure that you are going to teach us to remain in that state of grace,
Yes.
which is very essential. And
Perfect.
or does it really mean the manifestation which you mentioned to him to manifest it? What actually you mean by manifesting it?
Yes. So, firstly, I'm not teaching it. It's the book that I am just reading. And yes, I have applied a lot of these principles myself, and they have worked. So that's the first thing. And yes, as we move along, the book is going to show very clearly how you remain in a state of gratitude, just not for the first 15 minutes of your day when you sit down and write your gratitude list. Now, I'm not saying it's a very easy state to be in, because all through the day we encounter a lot of people, a lot of situations, a lot of times when we are unable to be grateful at that moment. But yes, as you practice along, there are practices in this where it says, how do you turn a negative situation into a positive one? So I'm not saying by the end of 28 days, we're all going to become Zen like and Buddha states, but most definitely we will learn how do we cut ourselves off from that negative situation or that negative person or any of that, and bless, forgive, and then show gratitude. And it is going to come up as a beautiful chapter in the coming weeks. And I have a little surprise planned for you all. So I'm going to be working on it and announce it only once it gets confirmed, because I want to bring in a guest speaker who is a complete authority on forgiveness. And she's been my guru, my mentor. So I'm going to check with her if she will be willing to come in and speak on that particular day when we are doing the chapter on negativity. Okay, so it will unravel, and yes, it will teach you how to remain in grace all through the day. Does that answer your question?
Yes. Another thing,
Yes.
does food play a role in the kind of food that you eat?
Absolutely. Yes,
So,
it does. It does. And again, when we do a chapter on health, we will be bringing this up. Okay, so I do understand everybody is buzzing with a lot of questions, which is fantastic. And I will be posting the book, like I said, for all my curious students. And I'm just going to say students because Sashant asked me the question first. Please go ahead and read. And if you find your answers, please be fine about it, but do join us back in the mornings, because it's going to be very nice and interesting to hear your perspective when you have read that chapter as well. Okay, and I have just 6 minutes, so I'm going to dive in quickly to the rest of the chapter. What are your dreams? Many of the magical practices are designed to help you achieve your dreams. Therefore, you need to get clear about what you really want. Sit down with a computer or pen and paper and make a list of what you really want in every area of your life. Think through every detail of what you want to be, do, or have in your life, in your relationships, career, finances, health, and every area that is important to you. You can be as specific and detailed as you like, but remember, your job is simply to list what you want, not how you're going to get what you want. The how will be done for you when gratitude works its magic. Now, this is beautiful. And a long time back, I had done an interesting workshop called Ordering from the Cosmic Kitchen. And what I took away from that was very simple. It's like saying you go into a restaurant and you tell the person who's come to take the waiter who's come to take your order, bring me some paneer dish. Or as against, you tell the waiter, I like to have palak paneer with no garlic, or I would like to have it without onions and garlic. So more specific you are in asking for your dreams, the universe understands that language and it says, here you have it. So it was a simple comparison about how you order your food in the restaurant is exactly how you order your dreams from the universe. You do not go into the restaurant and say, I like to have, a little bit of something spicy, or I feel like having a rice dish today. You're going to leave the waiter confused because he doesn't know what he needs to bring for you. But the minute you get specific about your dreams and you can say exactly what you're looking for, and trust me, it's easier said than done, because this is really a challenge. A lot of us don't know clearly what we want, and that's the reason why we feel magic is not happening in our lives and we are not getting what we want. It's because we're not asking for the right things. Okay, if you want a better job or your dream job, then think about everything you want the job to be. Think about the things that are important to you, such as the type of work you want to do, how you want to feel in your job, the type of company you want to work for, the kind of people you want to work with, the hours you want to work, where you want your job to be, the salary you want to receive. Get very clear about what you want in the job by thinking it through thoroughly and writing all the details down. I think this one paragraph is specifying very clearly how to ask if you're asking for a job, or how to look for growth in your workplace if that is what you're looking at. If you want money to educate your children, work out the details of their education, including which school you want your children to attend, the cost of the school fees, books, food, clothing, and transportation, so that you know exactly how much money you will need. Again, very, very specific with what you want. If you want to travel, then write down the details of the countries you want to visit, how long you want to travel for, and what you want to see and do, where you want to stay, and the means by which you want to travel. This paragraph is hurting a little bit because I think this is one thing I'm really missing out. So, my gratitude has consistently been about going to Egypt, or going to Italy, or going to Manali, going to so many places which I really want to get back to in travel. So, writing all these down is really going to make things go faster. If you want a perfect partner, then write down every detail of the characteristics you want that person to have. If you want improved relationships, write down the relationships you want to improve and what you want them to be like. If you want more health or an improved bodily condition, be specific about what ways you want to improve your health or body. If you want a dream home, if you want a dream home, then list every detail of what you want the home to be, room by room. If these are specific materials you want, if there are specific material things you want, like a car, clothes, appliances, write them down. Now, it's very interesting how Jack Canfield talks about manifestation and visualization, and how he talks about cutting out a picture of what you want. If that's my dream body and that's how I want to look, I cut out a picture of that. If that's the dream home I want, if that's the dream car, if that's the dream university I want to study, if that's the dream relationship I want to have, having those pictures put together in the form of a vision board where you are consistently seeing it makes a world of difference. So we are not going into a vision board exercise, but right now we are getting very, very clear about how we want to ask for our dreams. If you want to achieve something such as passing an exam, getting a degree, a goal in sports, succeeding as a musician, doctor, writer, actor, scientist, or business person, or whatever it is you would like to achieve, write it down and be as specific as possible. And I think this is where is the crux about you being very, very specific. I'm not sure if Guneet is on the call or if Sameer is on the call, and how in BNI or any of my other BNI friends who are here. Of course, Meera is here, Seema ji I know who logged in. We use one term consistently, and that is specific is terrific. So the more specific you can get about what you want, more terrific it is going to be, because the universe has complete clarity on what is it that you desire. So it just comes from there. I would strongly urge you to find the time to maintain a list of your dreams throughout your life. Write down the little things, the big things, or what you want this moment, this month, or this year. As you think of more things, add them to the list, and as you receive things, cross them off the list. An easy way to do a list of what you want is to divide it into categories of health and body, career and work, money, relationships, personal desires, material things. And then just add the things you want to each category. When you get clear about the things you want, you are giving a definite direction to the way you want gratitude's magical power to change your life. And you are ready to begin the most exciting and thrilling adventure you've ever been on. So, what I love about this part is how very clearly she has said in various aspects you can ask for different things. And I personally also feel that it's important that you ask for it in every aspect of your life. Consider it like a tree. And if a tree was to grow with just one branch getting heavier and heavier and heavier, it is not going to be a beautiful looking tree or even a tree which is going to sustain. So, what is important is to ask in various branches of your life, so that you keep adding to every branch, and every branch of your tree then grows. So take a look at all of them: health and body, career and work, money, relationships, personal desires, material things. And each of these things, write down a list of 3 to 5 specific things you want in each of these areas. And I think that will be a good exercise for you for today. So we've overshot the time, but if it's okay with you, I'd like to take another 5 minutes just to explain the exercise one more time. All you have to do today in the new book that you take out is to start writing out your dreams and your desires. Don't worry about the language that you would like to use or the language you are using, because it is something about how you write your dreams and desires which will be explained a little later. But for those of you who are aware of the law of attraction or aware of manifestation, you do know that you write your dreams in a present tense, and you write it in the manner where you feel you are already experiencing it. Okay, so for today, what you need to do is write down or make a list of your dreams and desires. Pooja, I'm just going to finish with one thing and then I'll keep the room open. So if anybody wants to leave after what I just have to say, you can go ahead and leave. And those who want to stay back, we can definitely chit chat for another 10-15 minutes. I'm absolutely open to that. So the other thing I want to explain is the magical assessment commitment form. A lot of y'all have filled that in, have sent the money across, but have not filled in the Google Forms correctly. So I'm going to personally send out a message to you in terms of what you need to do. Basically, this is creating a kind of commitment between you and yourself, and I'm only going to be around to ask you as your buddy, have you done your assignment for today? So if you feel that you are quite capable of taking care of yourself and you're going to definitely do it, and you don't want any extra help or any of that, You do not need to sign up for that. It is not at all required. But if you want me to go through what you have written to help you see whether it is written correctly or make a few changes here and there and speed it up for you a little bit, do sign up for that, for the MAC or your magical assessment commitment form. And you will be sent a Google form every single day, and I will be checking what you're uploading on that just to help and just to see whether it is done rightly or not. And with that, I come to the end of day one of a magical morning. We've overshot by 6 minutes, but I hope that's okay with everybody. And what I would want you to do is stay back. If you have questions, you're more than welcome to that. If you want to leave and you want to get back to yoga or cooking or any of that, please go ahead and do that. And thank you very, very much for making it on this morning. That's perfectly fine with me. Yes. Yes, Pooja, you had something to share.
Yeah. How do we write it? Can you give me an example? Actually,
So-
I'm going wrong sometimes. So I just
Okay,
want-
so that's exactly what, and you have signed up for the MAC. So you will, when you write it down, I will be checking and I will be telling you how you have to do it. But in a simple way, if I were to say for my health, and if I have to write something for my health, I would say something like, I am healthy and have a fit body. Okay, so you ask for exactly what you want, and
So you don't
do
have
not,
to use the word want, right?
you can
I
use
want.
the word, yes, you can use the word want for the time being, but as we move ahead, we will see how we can make those changes. But what I said right now was, I am in a healthy body and a fit body, or however you would like to put that in. That's perfectly fine, but just get specific with what you want. The only disclaimer I like to give over here is, please don't write, I don't want to have any disease, because that's exactly what the universe does not understand. It just picks up the word disease. It does not say don't. It just says disease, and that's where we go wrong. Okay. It's easier to write for things like money, where we can say, I want 10 crores by 2025. Okay, so that's very specific. That's saying exactly what you want, and the universe will make it happen. Even for your career, for your growth, it's easy. It gets tricky when we want to write for relationships and for health, because many a times we get negative with that. So as of now, just write, I am in a healthy body and I am in a loving relationship. I love myself. Start your relationship with yourself and say, I love myself for the way I am. And I am in a beautiful, meaningful relationship with my spouse, my partner, my parent, my in-laws, my child, any of that. So just write it simply asking for what you want. Just remove don't from that vocabulary. That's about it.
Ma'am, can you share?
Yes.
Can you share a single example of something that you wanted and you got by using this magic?
So I was saving it up for a little later, but now that you brought it up, I'm going to say there is a chapter that comes on a magical check. Okay, and it says how you need to fill in the amount of exactly how much money you want for whatever you want. Okay, and in the COVID times, I couldn't think of any travel that I can do, because that's always my number one want for money, because I want to travel. And so I said, I don't want a car, I don't want a house, I don't want any material things, I don't want jewelry, I don't want clothes, I don't want bags, I don't want any of these things. What do I need the money for? I'm questioning myself. And I said, okay, you know what? I always want money to learn more and more. So I wanted to sign up for an ICF certification. And I said, I want 69,000 rupees or 75,000 rupees for the first installment that I want to make for my ICF certification. And on that magic check that you have to write, and it's going to come as one of the exercises later, what happens is you write that amount down and you say what you want it for. And I wrote that amount down, and Manjula is here. So I can tell Manjula that that's the day that you guys gave me a call and asked me to join Sherwood Hall back again. So magically, that money just appeared in my account by just writing that one check that one day. Okay. So I think this has been one of my most magical moments of June, where I believed in something and I just did the exercise without thinking too much. And just by following what has been asked, I got what I had to receive. And sometimes then you ask yourself, should I have asked for my entire ICF certification money to come in at one shot? But no, let's not get greedy. Let's ask exactly what we want the money for. And it works.
Ma'am,
Yes.
can I add something?
Yes, please do. Who's this? Can you?
Manjula here.
Yeah, Manjula. Thank you, Manjula.
We
Yes.
were also very specific from my side that we want you back in the show, though. Actually said that and we got it. And today is a very beautiful day, the day you're going to be with us. Really, it's a wonderful experience for my life.
Start again.
Very special day for us. Thank you all.
Thank you, Manjula, for saying that. Yes, Nikhil, is that?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hi. Good morning.
Good morning.
I just wanted to know that you were telling that we should show gratitude for certain things that we require in our lives.
Yes.
That would probably be a good job or money or good health or a good family.
Yes.
But when such things don't give you happiness anymore, I mean, you're done and dusted types. Like you have the money, you have a good family already, and you have everything what is required, and now you are like directionless.
Okay.
So
without promoting myself, can I tell you something?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm a clarity coach, and that's exactly what I help people to do: find their purpose back in life. So what is your ikigai, or what is your purpose? And what is the higher thing that you are meant to do and you have not connected yourself with? And that's what you need to explore and discover.
Okay.
Yes. So if you want to connect with me and you want to do a session, I'll be more than willing to do that. But I'm not promoting myself. I'm just telling you, you can go on, you can look up a video of Ikigai. There are lots of videos on Ikigai which help you to connect to your purpose in life. Please do it yourself. Go ahead and do it yourself. You will find something very beautiful come out of that exercise, and you will get the meaning to your life. It will help.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes.
Ma'am, I wanted to ask something.
Yes, Sarika.
Yeah, ma'am, if there's something that I would desire for my kids, so me wanting it, how would it work out for them?
Yes, it's a very good question, because many a times we look for changing external factors without changing ourselves. Okay, so let's first start for gratitude for yourself. Okay, let's start out with what is it that you want for yourself. You want your children to be studying more sincerely, or you want your children to be getting higher grades, you want your children to be more focused. Yes, please go ahead and ask for those things, but first ask for things for yourself. Maybe you can change that around and you can say, I desire or I want to be around for my children when they want all my support in their studies. Then you are changing it to yourself and what you can control, and not what somebody else from outside you desire. Because otherwise, you will desire everything by changing everyone around us. But sorry, someone's mic unmuted. Does somebody want to say something? Yeah. So start out for yourself. Start out for yourself. But yes, you can rope it in. Like I said, I am helping my children to become more focused. Yeah, in there. So you are putting the power back in yourself. You are not giving power to someone else. Guys, somebody's mic is unmuted, and that's kind of causing a little confusion.
Samir's, I guess Samir's.
One more question, ma'am.
Yes. Who's this?
Sarika again.
Yes, Sarika. Yeah.
So many times it happens that let me talk about myself, that I am very thankful about something, but say somebody, or say, let's take an example, the house help that I have. I have a live-in house help, and at this time, I'm very grateful that I have somebody who can help me around. But
Yes.
so many times we are in a situation that it's not working out, or
Okay.
something really just, if I can use the word, pisses us off from
Okay.
that.
Okay.
So is it that we're not in a thankful situation? Does it reverse that whole attitude, or is it normal to feel like that?
Okay, so this is going to be a very classic case that we will take up again when we talk about removing negativity in people around us. Okay, and it is about how, in the most negative of situations or the most negative of people, you learn to identify things that you are still grateful to them for. Okay, it's like saying every cloud has a silver lining. So sometimes it's a dark cloud, okay, and there's no scope of us to see a silver lining. But definitely, if you look at that really dark cloud, you will find that silver lining. And like I said, it's not easy, and we are not Buddhas. We want to get into that space of Zen, but it does happen. So at that moment, when you look at that person and they are getting under your skin, they're pissing you off totally, how do I then change my attitude and say, immediately, at least I have her, as against others who are slogging it out? So at least I have her. Yes, and it'll come up. It'll come up in. It will come up later.
टाइट हो गया है
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
ऑयलिंग करके ना
Yes.
थोड़ा सा ऑयल डाल देंगे
Anyone else, or else we'll call it a wrap. And like I promised, I'm going to be sending the PDF.
How do we deal with the kids?
Sorry, one second. I think
asking.
I'm just going to mute all because somebody has not muted themselves. Yes, and now whoever wants to speak, can you just raise your hand? I'll unmute you, or send me a message in the chat box, and I will take it up, and we can discuss it then. Babita, did you want to say something?
Yes.
Yeah.
1 minute. Yeah, I just wanted to ask, is the gratitude journal going to be the same? Like what I've written today, will
Yes.
it repeat the same tomorrow, or tomorrow I come up with yet another things that I'm thankful for what had been happening yesterday?
Yeah, no, so you can come up with new things because every single day there are new things to be grateful for. And that's what the book is going to also teach us about, being grateful about the smallest things in life. So like I said, my first gratitude for today is my niece who drove down. And this thing, I don't know whether she'll come down tomorrow, because if she teaches me today, she might not come down tomorrow. So I will still be very grateful to her, but I may not start with that. So every single day, it's writing a fresh gratitude list. Some things can be consistent. Like I'm grateful for a healthy body can be a gratitude you can write every single day. That's perfectly fine. But there are a lot of new small things that we begin to identify, and that's what becomes new every single day. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Ruchi?
Yes.
Ruchika here.
Sorry, who's this?
Ruchika.
Yeah, Ruchita, where are you? Can you switch on your camera, please?
1 second, hold on.
Or okay, you can just speak. That's fine.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
am I audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Ruchi, how do we deal with frustrating kids?
Frustrated?
Frustrating kids.
Frustrating
like,
kids?
one moment you're on a Zen mode, and second moment you're absolutely frustrated with the demands they keep on doing throughout the day, given the lockdown and given the, slicky school schedules and, the TV time or whatever the e-time they are having. So how do we deal with that? Like, one moment you're all right, next moment you're back to the square one.
Yes. So again, it's something similar to what Sarika said, but it's just that we've changed the person over here. Ruchika, can you go back to your first picture you have with your child, where you're holding him in your arms? I know Ashray, so I can take his name and I say, can you go back to that first picture where you're holding him for the first time in your arms? Can you go back to that one picture and that one vision you have of yourself where you were very happy having delivered a beautiful baby boy? And every single time you feel that frustration coming to you, push yourself back into that one picture. Okay, So it's about how we can consistently keep practicing gratitude. If you want to make it your screensaver on your phone, please make it your screensaver. So every time you look at that picture, you'll be grateful for this cute little kid who is just as irritated and frustrated with the lockdown as we are. Okay, so they are going through their own journey of handling this thing of not being able to play outdoors, not being able to meet up with friends, not being able to have, and Asha is an energetic kid and I know that about him, so not being able to expend that energy. So let's be a little empathetic towards them because they're going through their own journeys, and it's not easy because we as adults have got a lot of work which even if we don't like it, we have to get it done. So we are busy, we are occupied, but sometimes kids really don't have that on their head, and it is a tough time. I have a teen daughter and I know how it is, but you have to tweak yourself as parents at this moment because all of us require it. And that's why gratitude is like filling your own jar first thing in the morning. If I fill myself up with joy and happiness, I'm in a better space to then share it with other people. But if I get up angry, annoyed, pissed, with all the things that are getting under my skin, I'm only going to be spreading that more and more. So like they say na, apna ghada pehle bharo, or like they say even in flights, that put on the mask on yourself first before you're trying to help someone else. Gratitude is just about that. It's about filling yourself up with joy, and then you move ahead for others, right?
Okay.
So for today, I just want you to look at that one picture of Ashray where you were holding him in your arms for the first time, and see how that makes you feel.
Sure, done. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, someone's one second. Yeah.
Ruchi,
Yes.
Ruchika,
Yes.
this is Rashmi here.
Yes, Rashmi.
I just wanted to ask one question, that when we are maintaining that new book, on
Yes.
one side we have to write the wants that we really, which we really want that to work out for us, and the other side we have to maintain that gratitude list. I mean, how do you have to maintain that book?
So this book is just like a fresh notebook, okay? And today's chapter or today's assignment is just to write down your desires or your dreams or your goals, okay? The next page can start with the gratitude list. So it's one book that you can maintain. You don't need to have different books. There are more activities later in the book which will ask you to get these wishes and desires out to a place where you see it more often. But when we come to it, we'll cross that bridge.
So you have to express the gratitude every day, or you just have to write once in 2-3 days and that's okay?
No,
you have to,
every single day.
It has to be an everyday routine.
Yes, it is an everyday routine.
Oh.
Okay.
Ma'am, one more question.
Yes, sure, Sarika.
Again, writing about your dreams and desires. So do we write it with a particular date in mind? Say, I would want something for in the near future, but a bigger picture.
Yes. So you can have short-term goals, you can have long-term goals. Absolutely fine.
Okay.
Absolutely fine.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we can all start by writing. Probably, I'm so glad the pandemic is over. Maybe we can all collectively do that as our first thing. And I'm sure it's going to send it out in the gratitude and the universe, where so many people desiring it will definitely make it happen. I'm so happy. I'm so glad I'm able to travel. I'm so glad the pandemic is over and things are back to normal. We can start with that, which I'm sure will be a short-term goal. Right?
Ruchi, I like to share the gratitude book.
Yes.
It's available readily also online.
On Amazon?
I'm not too sure. Yeah, I'm not too sure.
But I will anyway be sharing the PDF. So it's there on the group for anyone to read whenever they want. That's perfectly fine. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Ruchika, for saying that.
Ruchi, one question, Shraddha.
Yes. Yeah, Shraddha.
Yeah, I just wanted to know.
Sure. Can you switch on your camera?
Yeah. Ruchi, I just wanted to share that I was writing gratitude past 3 months. Slowly and gradually, I experienced it. It was just a writing. I was not feeling it. Correct. So how do you change it to feeling to writing, you know?
Yeah. So
just putting
tomorrow,
on a paper.
Yes, right. Exactly. So tomorrow we're going to, Anita, I think your hand is raised and I'm going to come to you next. definitely. So Shraddha, the thing is that when you are writing it, and that's what we're going to start with tomorrow, it's about after writing every sentence as a gratitude, you stop yourself, you feel what you have written, and you say thank you, thank you, thank you 3 times to that particular sentence that you have written. So it is about mindfully writing it and not just dutifully doing it, but to do it with a lot of intention, and that makes a lot of difference, right? So it is.
What is the right time?
Right time is
right
first
time?
thing in the morning. And there is another exercise which will come where you have to do something at night, which is a summation of your gratitude for the day, and it's all going to come up tomorrow. And the other thing is what you're going to write first thing in the morning. So like, you know, a lot of people, when they go into their offices, the first thing that they do is they do a little agarbatti, or they do some way to connect back to their God in that workplace. For me, when I come down to work in my center, the first thing I have is my book, and I write out my gratitude for that day. So starting the day on gratitude is definitely a great way to do it. And yes, there is an exercise, like I said, at the end of the day, which also helps us sum up the entire day. So we sleep with gratitude and we wake up to gratitude.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Any other questions? It's almost, yes, Anita, sorry. So, and it's almost 7:15, so we'll have to rush back. So, yes. Anita, you're on mute. Please unmute yourself. No, you're on mute. You're on mute. I can't hear you. Unmute yourself. I'm not being able to. Yeah, now that's better. Yeah.
At times gratitude seems little boring because it's become a daily habit.
Correct.
The morning we get up, or when we sleep, we have gratitude for everything. It's inbuilt in our system. But at times it's so boring, thanking for the same family, same thing. So how to make gratitude interesting?
Don't change your family. You have a beautiful family, so please don't ask for anything like that. Okay. Yes, how to make it more interesting. There are certain tools again where it talks about a magic wand, it talks about magic dust, it talks about different ways of doing gratitude. Okay, and it's about finding the joy in the small things. It's so boring to brush every day. It's so boring to take a bath every day. It's so boring to cook food every day, but we still do it. But when we do it with joy, especially the cooking part, you know more than anybody else how much of a difference it makes. So sometimes routine things, monotonous things are boring, and 14 days of being in this journey together will definitely pump all of us up, and it'll make us do it more. Yes.
Thank you.
So we'll find it. We'll find some exciting things to do. Great. Thank you. So thank you very much. And if you are done with the day, and if there are no more questions, then I'm going to end the meeting, and I will see all of you all tomorrow morning by 5:45. I will open, so that if 15 minutes we have any sharings, we can have that, and 6 o'clock sharp we dive into the session. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Ruchi.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Good day.
Good day. Thank you.
Thank you, Ruchi.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, Ruchi.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.